Scenery-wise, this was the best drive so far. Hardangervidda is 67 kilometres long between Eidfjord and Haugastøl and is full of contrasts from immense highland expanses, high mountains to deep and lush valleys. Hardangervidda is Norway's most extensive national park and Northern Europe's largest mountain plateau at over 1,200 metres. The narrow, steep and wild valley of Måbødalen is some 7 kilometres long, with the impressive Brekkefossen along the route. It was the first road connection between eastern and western Norway over the Hardangervidda. This new road was only opened in 1986. Brekkefossen is the best known waterfall in Norway, combining an impressive step bridge and many new viewing platforms overhanging the gorge to give really good views of the torrents below. The unique step bridge connecting the viewpoints and paths at Fossatroma and Fossli has 99 steps and a span of 47 metres and stands at a height of 50 metres above the rapids. The viewing platforms overhanging the gorge gave impressive views of different aspects of the waterfall. Access in some cases was quite tricky, and you don't want to suffer from vertigo. I then concluded my visit by following a trail with cautionary signage to the Brekkefossen Bridge, which was built in 1915. It is 80 metres long with a vaulted arch and has a roadway some 3 metres wide. Then it was back on the road and a climb onto the plateau of the Hardangervidda National Park, where it was very windy and only at 7.5 degrees, with snow poles in position along the road. Very desolate and unforgiving. One last tunnel and we arrived at Flåm campsite with a massive cruise ship in port. Flåm itself feels like it's just a cruise ship Disneyland with shops, restaurants and bars purely set up to serve the passengers of the cruise industry. I could not see anything that could have been the existing Flåm. Maybe some time out and about tomorrow we'll find those things. Back at the campsite, it was time for a nice healthy dinner after my lunchtime UPF snack at Gelio and an early night. The weather window this morning was due to close in the early afternoon, so I found a hike that would take me upstream to the actual village of Flåm. Apparently the site of Flåm railway station, close to where the 150 cruise ships each summer season now dock, was originally called Fredheim. A short way into the hike, I noticed a sign pointing to Brekkefossen at 500 metres. And who could not want to get another viewpoint of a waterfall? The first section uphill certainly warmed up the legs before the next section of no less than 585 rock steps. Once I got to the top of the steps, I spent a while cooling off, taking in the views from the waterfall before heading back down. The hike up the valley was easy, along the original road to Måbødalen, before all the tunnels were dug, to the actual village of Flåm, with Flåm Skole, Flåm Kirke, established in 1670, as well as a coffee shop and hairdresser. The altar in Flåm Kirke is from 1671. The altarpiece and baptismal font were made in 1673. The walls in the nave are richly decorated with landscapes, animals and buildings. The decorations in the choir depicting vines are older than the nave decorations. And during restoration in 1967, an old piece of Venetian silk was found, probably a kind of vestment or a 14th century nobleman's cloak. Then it was an easy stroll back to the campsite alongside the Flambana Railway, passing an old salmon catching location, then around the deep water dock, no cruise ship in port this time, the railway station museum and back to the campsite. Then it was another wet afternoon and an evening, but things improved with a pizza for dinner from a pop-up shop on the campsite. More detailed information on this episode can be found in the description. Please click on the subscribe button to receive notifications of the next upload. Thank you.